All right, thanks everyone. As mentioned, I'm Andrew Lebos, the SVP of licensing at Benzinga. Let's do a quick round of intros.
Hi, my name is Vitaly. I work at DevExperts. DevExperts is a software company, so we build trading platforms. We also have a market data division, and we build software for brokers. Our recent development is AI chatbot that simplifies and improves the customer care operations. So we'll talk about it.
My name is Evan Berryman. I work for Lightspeed Financial Services Group. We are an introducing broker-dealer for active and sophisticated retail traders, specifically that trade equities and options.
I'm Stephen Orr, better known on Wall Street as Big Beat, and I'm the CEO and founder of Quasar Markets.
I'm Sarah McKenna. I'm with Sequentum. We have a web scraping platform and an all-in-one data platform for ingesting, transforming, structuring, and delivering your data.
Awesome, thank you all. So we're here today to talk about unlocking value through data and cutting-edge technologies. The space has changed a lot. Everyone and their mom is trying to build a brokerage. It seems like there's a new brokerage every single day. Evan, I know Lightspeed has been doing this for many years. How do you see Lightspeed fitting into this new brokerage landscape?
Yeah, it's a really good question. With the explosion of broker-dealers, specifically since the pandemic, that's kind of gotten everybody in the markets of all different skill levels. The way we see ourselves fitting in is knowing what we do well and focusing on that. I think that consumers in any business understand when you're trying to be something that you're not. And our current customers expect a certain level from us, from our technology suite to our service to the partners that we work with. And so we do a really good job from an organization, top down, bottom up, making sure that we know what our vision is, know what our customers want, and delivering on that vision.
Nice, thank you. Vitaly, I know that you guys serve a lot of brokerages, and you have a lot of data. And so I guess we'll foray into the data discussion. How are you collecting, storing, using this data in an effective way?
Right, so let's separate the data that is public by default, which is market data and news, etc., and the data that the broker has in their own platform. So the data that the broker owns, like their client data, trades, etc., this is their data, right? So we never share it with anyone else. But we build tools for the broker to analyze this data and to work with it. As for the public data, well, there is a storage, I think 5, 6, 7 petabytes of information, because we collect every tick data starting 2010, I think. For the daily aggregations, we go to the full history back to 1970. And at some point, we just realized that, okay, this data, even if we pack it well, it takes time to extract. So we started building data lakes on top of the original storage to access the data in a more efficient way. So it's available for quants, it's available for buy-side, sell-side firms. And the API layer. So at some point, we've built an API layer that can be hosted on our premises in the cloud or on customer premises, say in collocation in a data center. So we improved the transport layer to the stage where it doesn't matter whether you're using front-end technology like web browser or mobile application or back-end technology. You are using the same API and you get the fastest access to the historical data. Finally, AI, it changed the rules of the game because we were working with structured data. Structured data is like SQL databases or some other storage, but still you need to create a query to get the data. AI doesn't require you to formulate the query. You speak the natural language and AI provides you the answer. So we're now converting this huge amount of data that we have, also the private data that the broker owns, into the format that AI can consume. So we basically train AI on this data and provide answers to users, even sometimes the answers that users don't expect to get. So this is the power of AI.
Nice, yeah, AI is changing the game. Steve, I know you work a little bit with AI. I heard you spoke on it recently, and won some awards as well.
4 now so far, I guess.
4 awards, nice. How are you using AI?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been talking about AI for over 12 years, and I think the key to AI is hiring the best and biggest squirrel you have and give the biggest wheel to keep pushing that along, right? I mean, when talking about AI is about one thing and one thing only. It's about data and how to structure that data and how to get that data actually in a way that the user actually understands it, right? We're in the world of fintech. I've been doing this for 30 years plus, and I can tell you that what the new retail users are using it, they don't sometimes understand what the answer is. What is price to equity ratios? What is a Sharpe ratio? They don't understand that. But I think AI is doing three things. And I think the first thing that AI is really doing for it is getting the data fast. When people ask me all the time, and the other day on Schwab, I was asked this question, Steve, what's the best stock to buy? Like I heard earlier, in AI, it's the companies that have data. Think about like Salesforce and Facebook and Google. Why? Because they're the companies that have all of the data. What we're looking for in the next level of all of this is letting the AI structure data. So data that's already structured, think about like Fred or Edgar or database that we already use. Instead of just hitting an API and going after all the time and hitting up that API all the time, what I'm saying is, why don't you just download all the data? You can have it in your own storage systems. MongoDB would love you. They have Atlas right now, Atlas Prime. And there's ways of doing that faster. The third thing, I think, is making the data palpable so it's easy to understand. And I think you said it right, Tully, is answering questions that they didn't even know to ask. Giving them an answer, why, if someone's chewing gum in Japan, is that changing gold prices in Australia, right? Why? I don't know, but the machine does. And I think those are the three main things that AI does and does well.
AI is huge. We work with the brokerages, and a lot of times they're squirmish about tools that use AI in any way. We've had to build some human layers to the products that we use with AI, and so Sarah, I feel like you kind of figured that out. How do we trust this data and this AI usage?
Right, very good question. Right, we have a lot of AI startups that are building on top of our platform, and our tagline is trust and data. And here's how we think about it. So first of all, the only way that you're going to trust the data that's feeding your AI and your analytics and your decision making is if you have total transparency. So we make sure that every stakeholder in the process has a view into exactly what's happened. Right, we cut our teeth. We have an all-in-one data platform, but we really cut our teeth on web data, which is notoriously untrustworthy, and we're obsessed with trust, reliability, compliance, quality, right? So how do we do it? We basically have taken the software principles from agile software development and applied it to data processing. So we look at, how do you define your acceptance criteria, right? We have data validation, monitoring every step of the way. Anything going wrong with that data that's falling outside of expectations, you can set 80 plus monitors for a single field in a column or a row of data that's coming across. Not only that, but we have all kinds of tolerances that you can configure to make sure that it's not too noisy. So just your data quality monitors, like we don't think of data observability as something that's outside your data process platform. Ours is inside. We have it integrated every step of the way. And not just that, but we have audit trails that are showing every change that's happened in that agent, who did what, when, why, changes to inputs. So, a lot of our customers are SEC governed. Their compliance teams want to know, for example, that they're not automating a CAPTCHA, right? That's a particularly sensitive aspect, right? Our platform actually is low code. So you're composing your automation with tried and true, reusable building blocks of automation. And this makes it, the audit trail, that much easier, because you have a human readable definition of exactly what's in that agent, and you know what happened, when, by who, where, what time, at any given time. We store those audit trails for as long as our clients want retention. And the last thing I will say is, as obsessed, you can tell that we're very obsessed with this, right? We expect things to go wrong, right? Things do go wrong. Like, for example, we had a customer come to us recently and say, we're so sorry, we've been running this scrape with you guys, I'm talking, like tens of millions of requests per day for years. And they said, we're really sorry, but we didn't tell you. we also need this other data point. Can you do anything for us? And we were able to go back because we're so obsessed with auditing. We also cache every page that we've pulled down from. We were able to go back, and 3 days later, 3 years of data was transformed, and they had the point that they wanted. And they know they can trust it because we have the platform architected and the team operation defined to be able to do these things so quickly.
We should definitely talk after this for some of our processes. I don't know if Tommy's in the room, but we could use some of that audit trail, especially working with hedge funds and quants. So they probably love that. The institutional world probably loves the audit trail. We talk about trust with retail. Evan, it's quite a bit of pressure to have people's money on your platform. They're trusting that the data on your platform is accurate and execution is done correctly. How do you guys instill trust in your users?
Yeah, I think specifically in the retail trading space, the first component of this is, and it alludes to what I talked to earlier, delivering on expectations. Lightspeed's really known for its execution speeds, platform uptimes. We're really known for our technology in the retail space. So it's delivering on those expectations, right? Like people have an expectation when they open an account with us, what their experience is going to be like. So really it's building that trust through experience is the first element. And the second part of it is integrity in our leadership team. So our leadership team at Lightspeed, from the C-suite and our compliance team as well, we're never looking to convey anything, promissory or misleading, or try to convey to the public that trading is easy and it's a guaranteed way to make money. We understand with retail traders specifically that it's a lot for an individual investor to put capital on the line. And so, not only do we try to provide them with a good experience with our technology, in terms of advertising, website, partnerships that, we have, we try to make sure that they align with us in terms of character and integrity and how they view trading, it's difficult. And yeah, I think that really just delivering on expectations and understanding your customer and making sure that they understand that you care and that you are trying to give them all the tools that they need to reach their financial goals, whatever they may be. That's how you deliver on trust as a retail broker-dealer.
You sold me. I might switch my primary brokerage. Vitaly, so on the same vein of trust, I heard you guys have a really cool chatbot feature that is using AI. How do you ensure that there's no hallucinations, that people can trust the conversations which are critical for users, that they're in the right direction and saying the right thing?
Right. So we started with low-hanging fruits, not with LLMs even, because AI it's actually bigger than just LLM than ChatGPT, and we started working on it like 7 years ago when there was no LLM available in the market. So first thing that we did, we improved the communication channels between the end client and the broker. So even if it's a chat widget in the web browser, it's connected to the trading platform, and if the user allows, it takes the data from the trading platform, like my account, my positions, cash balance, etc. So it can answer questions that a human usually answers the question, but there is no place for hallucination because we're not training this AI on some external data. We just provide the data in a best format for the user, and we provide this immediately. The user doesn't need to wait for account manager to take a phone, right, or to answer in the chat. So that was one thing. Second is multi-language. So instead of hiring people who speak different languages, now we're just using auto-translation, even for audio that is recorded, because you can talk to the CI using your natural language. You can send the audio messages and receive the text in your language. Finally, we added more communication channels like, okay, this is the website where you can communicate, but can you do it in WhatsApp? Yes, of course. Can you do it in Telegram? Yes. Discord? Of course. So actually you can use your favorite communication channel to talk to your broker and even to extract the data from your trading account or even place trades if you want. So that was not even that didn't even require LLM to do all of that. And that was already like a huge win, because brokers who are using our chatbot, they saved on like human personnel. They still need people, because chatbot doesn't answer all the questions, and some questions are complicated. And the more complicated is the inquiry, the less effective is the AI today. So we still route those questions to humans, and they still help answering them, and then they can take control of the client screen, have a video call, etc. But it really improves the performance of the whole scenario, because what you can automate, you automate, like KYC, onboarding. That's doable, very easy, right? But you're right. If you just allow LLM to control that, that's a dead end, because yeah, it hallucinates. So you cannot just connect chatbot like ChatGPT and talk to your end user. That's not compliant. That will not work.
Sorry, someone got a phone call.
Not my fault.
Okay, so just to tie that together, so you are just using the data from the brokerage. You're not allowing for any hallucination, because it's only what is provided. Vitaly, right? Okay, so Steve, you're using LLMs, right? Okay. And how are you avoiding the potential of hallucinations?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I have been a trader for 33 years, so compliance and FINRA regulations and SEC, I've seen it growing. I mean, people always ask me all the time. I learned on graph paper and pen technical analysis, right? So I wanted to make sure that our system was compliant from day one and not the other way around, not letting AI. So in order to do that, what we did was we said, okay, we know that any AI, doesn't matter if it's Strawberry or AWS's AI or Gemini, they all hallucinate, every one of them, right? So how do I keep that from happening? And that's very simple. We actually went and attached the actual LLMs to the actual databases. So think of it like Fred and Edgar, and not let the machine get outside of that database. So, and we also wanted to make it in a way that allowed people to make those connections themselves. I think you said about the personal level of it. So let's think of it like this. We also put weather and sports and all the kind of things that as a user, as traders, we do all kinds of things, right? We don't just trade all day long. It's boring if we did that. Trust me, I've lived for 33 years. What we wanted to find out was connections. So if I added Fred, which is the databases for most economic data for the United States, and attached that to baseball, well, what's the connection of a right-handed pitcher for on the Houston Astros and the market moves tomorrow? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but the AI does, and it doesn't hallucinate. It actually pulls from those actual databases, and the key to that is not just scraping through APIs. If you're just doing that, then it's going to fail. What we wanted to do, we partnered with WebMob and Kiwi Tech, that were the original partners for SEC of pulling down the actual 10Ks and 10Qs. So if you're going to Fred and you're going to Edgar all the time through APIs, yeah, you're wasting energy, first of all. But second of all, you're going to get the data, but it's going to be slow. What if all that data is sitting in your MongoDB and sitting in your backend already ready to go and already PDF'd and set there? People always ask, like I said earlier, you got to have the data. You got to own it. You can't just be a company that says, well, I think I'm going to go scrape the weather today, right? I'm going to actually go talk to the weatherman. I'm going to find out, and then the problem also was on top of that was that most ChatGPTs and LLMs end in November of last year, or they end in March, and they're moving up a little bit better. We wanted to add closed captioning TV. We wanted to add actual news. We actually added Twitter feeds. We added stock to it. Shiv Sharma, thank you, man. Look, all of those databases that we use, instead of letting the machine hallucinate and make up stuff, we said, you know what? I think I just want to talk to StockTwits. I want to get all their database, and we suck it down and put it in our backend and say, okay, we're going to use it and let the machine pull from that actual data. On top of that, we did compliance by setting exactly where it came from. So you'll know, you can actually click on the link and say, this is where the actual data came from. And as a compliant guy, we put a timestamp on it. That's how old I am. We made timestamps. So we were already FINRA regulated from the day get-go. We wanted to make sure that was covered.
Gotcha. You should use a Benzinga newsfeed as one of your sources.
Let's talk, Andrew.
Sarah, so I kind of want to tie it together for the audience, and frankly, we might use you guys too. So I understand the power of scraping and producing these data sets. How are you integrating AI? And how are you talked about ensuring that it's compliant and trustworthy, but I would love to hear how functionally you're using AI.
Yeah, so again, we're obsessed with trust. We don't trust that the AI is always going to get it right. And we have been using AI for long before ChatGPT came out. We basically, will wrap commands around the AI. So whether it's language translation or keyword extraction or whatever it is that we're using, if it's LLMs in particular, we will probably ask the same question multiple different ways. And we will also generate sort of the oracle, the system of truth, for any model updates, right? So we're very careful when we're creating intelligent agents. We're basically making, an entire deployment life cycle around them to make sure that every new version of that model that comes out is tested and proven that it is actually working to the same level of quality on similar data. And then we have all of this data validation success criteria that we wrap around it to make sure that it's getting the right answers. So we in our own way, even though our tagline is trust in data, we're sort of don't trust, and that's sort of our default position. And we spend a lot of time when we're building intelligent agents on our platform to make sure that we are really, really assessing that output. But yeah, we're using everything. We're using LLMs. We're using all kinds of AI services from different companies, and we're really, really appreciating the incredible strides that we're able to integrate into our platform from AI.
Totally. It sounds like everybody's using AI in a certain way, and people are saying you either use it or you're going to fail. I guess.
And Andrew, one of the things about AI in general is that we're going the next level of AI agents, right? So that's where the machine makes its own decisions. And we're going to have AI agents talking to AI agents. So if there's any non-trust anywhere in the system, it's going to completely break down, right? So you've set this AI agent to buy Apple stock at 223 and to sell it at 225, and this AI agent is talking to this AI agent and saying, okay, but I also want to buy the options behind it, but this is the wrong data. And then all of a sudden, then it starts buying. This is a massive
I still
problem.
laugh at the story of the Facebook chatbots that started speaking their own language.
Google and Alexa going at each other, yeah.
That's funny. No, for sure. All right, so we have 5 minutes left. Why don't we just do 1 minute each, talk about, it was supposed to be about data and tech, and we talked a lot about AI. Let's talk about what we're most excited about, a new feature on our platform, a new technology that we've integrated. We'll just go down the line. Is that cool? You want to start?
Okay, so I'm most excited with our new web widget library that our dev team introduced. So they build a widget in a couple of days, like production ready. And since they're using the same API layer, it doesn't cost them anything to just invent new widgets and build them. So this is what I'm still like walking around and thinking, why did it take so long to get into it? Finally, we're there.
Yeah, I think that most brokers that are coming out, in the first question, are all trying to be mobile facing, like as the foundation of their business. And one thing that I'm excited about that we've rolled out at Lightspeed, actually went live last month, is a product called Lightspeed Connect. So we now offer API trading at Lightspeed. And it really, although we understand that trading is difficult, a lot of these larger broker dealers actually really underestimate how sophisticated retail traders can be and the tools that they can utilize and how much data they're willing to ingest and the strategies they're willing to implement. And so now through Lightspeed Connect, you have to have a very limited development background and you can automate your trading strategies. So now it's not mobile facing, it's not desktop facing. You can go to work, go about your day, and your trading strategies are working for you. You can back test them. And also it gives us the ability to work with some of the amazing fintech partners that you see out there today to be able to plug into their UI, but execute trades to Lightspeed's brokerage firm through the back end. So we're meeting clients exactly where they're at on technology they're comfortable using.
And limiting me to one thing, Andrew, is kind of tough because we have a lot of cool things. I think the first thing that we're really excited about is the education platform that we put on. I love my education at Benzinga. We helped build that. And I'll tell you that I think that's the biggest key to retail traders today is actually learning about what's really going on. The second thing for me, obviously, is being able to translate it in every language on the planet. We're at 42 now. We should be at all 92 in the next week or two. and not using Google Translate, where I actually have all the back engines on the backside, and the machines actually translate based on what country you're in. So if you're in Saudi Arabia, the machine automatically goes from right to left, or if in Japan they don't like the way we lay our layouts, it automatically transfers that way too. And I think the coolest thing for me, and we've already built out as well, is the AR, VR side of things. Because I think in the future, we're not going to be using our cell phones. We're already doing this nowadays. It's the next level of this. So I have an Oculus, I have an Apple Vision Pro, I've got all the fun toys, but that's how we're going to trade in the future, because I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you, I got 24 screens around my office. You ever seen it? And I'll tell you, we're going to get rid of all of those. We're going to be having wearables, glasses, we're going to have our watches, and that's how we're going to trade in the future. And we've already built that side of it already. It's like Minority Report. I can literally move one screen to another one, or modules around. We'll put Lightspeed in the system, and we'll have traders over here, and we'll have trading view and charts. It already works already. So if you want to, anybody wants to go to Quasar Markets, go ahead and play around and mess it up for me. I appreciate that.
We are also equally excited about all of these things. So our platform, we just released in the cloud. It's pay-as-you-go. We have democratized access to data and AI. You are able to create intelligent agents now with very little upfront investment in time or installation or IT staff or whatever it is that's blocking you from getting started. It's a low-code platform, and we are incredibly excited to participate in this new revolution, whether it's powering wearables or whatever it is. We have a lot of startups building on our platform, and we look forward to seeing all of the use cases that come out and harness this bright future.
Agreed. Thank you all for your time. This was fun, and I hope you guys learned something. Come say hi and ask questions afterwards, but I appreciate you all, and enjoy the event.